Man, Pete Buttigieg just buried his own campaign. This guy's finished. He was scheduled to attend a campaign event, but canceled so he could fly back to South Bend, Indiana, where he's the mayor, to meet with a grieving family and Black Lives Matter protesters. This story has already blown up. It shouldn't even be circulating outside of the Indiana market. But because it's an officer-involved shooting and the suspect was black, you guys already know how this works. That's the reason I heard about it. Now, let me give a disclaimer right off the bat. I don't have all the facts or the evidence or the information related to the case. It's an ongoing investigation. However, the suspect apparently was breaking into cars at 3:30 in the morning. Officers get a call, a complaint. They show up. Guy apparently has a knife, gets shot. I guess one of the officers had to go to the hospital to get treated for minor injuries. So there was some kind of altercation. That's all we know, okay? Now, Pete messed up. His biggest mistake was canceling a campaign event to go back and meet with protesters.
So I want to play for each of you what we just happened earlier today with the Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He was supposed to attend in the fish fry, but he canceled those plans to return home for a march related to the deadly shooting of a black man by a white police officer in South Bend. This is actually what you're looking at here is live, but I want to play for you what just happened moments ago, an exchange he had with community members.
Can you say to us today, in front of all these cameras, that Black Lives Matter?
Did you just ask me if Black Lives Matter?
Yes, we want to hear you say it. Black Lives Matter.
Of course, Black Lives Matter.
Then fire your car!
Are you racist?
What about a black life? What matters about a black life to you, Mayor Pete? What matters about a black life to you? Answer that for in just months.
Say anything that matters to me about my own.
Answer that.
Pete, you had to know better. You had to know better. You threw yourself into the fire with this. They expect you to do something now that you've shown up and you've pretty much sided with them over law enforcement. What you should have actually done is just released a statement saying, let all the facts come out. Let's uncover the truth here before we draw conclusions. Instead, he fanned the flames by showing up, essentially, sympathizing with them, like, yeah, I understand your outrage and all that. That's not what a leader should do in a situation like that. This is reminiscent of Obama. Now, this next mistake that Pete made was the final nail in the coffin.
I'll give you a chance to respond here to one more thing that just happened with this exchange with Mayor Pete moments ago. Here it is.
I do not have evidence that there has been discipline for racist behavior in the case of one. But if
You truly running for president and you black people to vote for you?
But if an
You running for president and you want black people to vote for you? That's a downfall. That's not going to happen.
I'm not asking for your vote.
You ain't gonna get it either.
If there was one piece of advice that your campaign advisor should have given you, it would be maybe not say that you're not asking for the black vote. And on top of that, you're at a Black Lives Matter protest. Oh my gosh. You can't make this up. The jokes write themselves, people. First of all, why are you showing up to a Black Lives Matter protest and then you're going to read from a piece of paper that there's no evidence that the crime or the shooting was racially motivated? You're supposed to validate their beliefs. They believe Black Lives Matter because the police are taking those black lives unjustly. But then you're going to show up there as if you're on their side and stab them in the back like, yeah, sorry, I don't think it was racially motivated. And then when they say, we're not going to vote for you, you say you're not asking for their votes? Stick a fork in him, ladies and gentlemen. He's done. Now, because this is CNN, I can't leave you without one more outlandish claim that these panelists make, these so-called journalists. Get a load of this.
Governor, what do you make of this? I mean, this is
Well, I guess
this
it's
is
not
part of the
generational
Democratic
after
base.
all,
This is anger.
as
Go ahead.
Keith said. So it's clearly not a generational problem. Look, the answer is African Americans, like all Americans, have the right to respect that political parties will do things to benefit them and to deal with their problems. And I will tell you that there is no person in American life who has a better record over the last 40 years of dealing with civil rights issues, of dealing with justice issues, than Joe Biden has. Joe Biden has done more to combat racism and has done more to create opportunity for African Americans than anybody else.
You heard it there first, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody has a better record with the black community than Joe Biden. You know, that crime bill was actually a good thing for the blacks. You can't make it up, guys. The truth is stranger than fiction. So let me get this straight. This whole segment was about Pete Buttigieg's response to a shooting in his town. And the discussion ends up being about Joe Biden and his stellar record with the black community. If this doesn't convince you that CNN and corporate media backs Joe Biden and he's being astroturfed to be the front runner, you must be lost. Now, poor Pete Buttigieg, Panderin Pete, he went from 2 weeks ago drinking malt liquor out of a brown paper bag because he wanted the black vote to now standing in front of Black Lives Matter protesters saying he's not asking for it. Looked like you had your black card, and now rest in peace to your campaign. We're driving a nail in the coffin. It's done. You lost it.